Hey, this is Rich over at TVP Live with another quick tips brought to you by Adobe Photoshop Elements Tutorials Group. And let's jump right in with today's poster who wanted to merge these wings with this picture of this angel. So let's jump right in. And basically what we're going to do is create a mask first, but in the way I do it is old school way by copying the photo and cutting out what I just want as my mask. I'm going to go ahead and right click here and duplicate this layer. I'm going to turn off the bottom layer, so all I got is the top layer here. And let's go ahead and cut her out. All we need to cut out is the portion that's going to be behind the wings, because that's the only portion that's going to show in front of the wings. So let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit and get us like a 10-point eraser. And we just start to erase along her dress, making sure not to include any of the background. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And the reason we're not using the magic tool for this is because the background is so busy that it will not be able to catch just what we want. So in our case, we have to use a secondary way by building a mask. And when I want to do straight lines, I just hold the shift down and click. Hold the shift down and click. Hold the shift down and click. That allows me to do a set of straight lines. Once I got the bottom of her dress where I think the last point of the wings might show, I can just go ahead and grab the polygon tool and let's go ahead and cut this whole thing out. And it's okay if I do the straight line across here because that's just going to merge in when I turn that layer back on in front of the background. You won't notice the difference. Once we got that closed up, and all I have to do is right click and hit copy. And what that does, it creates a new layer up here. When I turn the background off, you'll see this is our new layer that's just the girl. This allows us to bring in the wings. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the wings. I'm going to drag it up here into our current layer and drop the wings right in. And now the wings are in front of her. All we got to do is take that layer and pull it underneath her layer, and it puts the wings right behind her. I'm going to go ahead and lock her layers so that she doesn't get grabbed by mistake. Let's turn the background back on, and there we see we have the wings behind her. If I go too low, you'll see that it goes beyond the mask that I built. So all I just have to do is just make sure that I keep it above her. Let's go ahead and resize the wings. We'll grab the corners and let's make them really nice and big like this. I'm going to make them a little bit more wide. Now the only problem is that the wings are not bent back and up like her angle is. She's looking up and she's bent backwards a little bit, so should the wings. So let's go ahead and create that same effect. I'm going to go up here to Image, Transform, and Distort. This allows me to grab any corner and manipulate it like this. So basically I'm going to pull in this one, I'm going to pull this one back a little bit, and I'm going to leave this one up and out because her elbow, she's leaning towards this upper left side, so I'm going to let that side stay a little bit bigger. And this gives us the impression that the wings are bending along with her body. And that gives us perspective. That's what we want. Now all we need is a little bit of a shadow, because if she was standing with her wings behind her, there would be a little bit of shadow. I'm going to go ahead and grab the bottom layer, add an extra layer in between, grab a black brush, and let's make this brush, I don't know, let's say about 150 point, and let's go ahead and draw in our shadow. And all we got to do is go to the opacity and lessen the opacity to where we want it to look natural, like a natural shadow. And we're going to leave it right here at about 35% just to give us a little subtle shadow. So there you go. You got yourself a nice angel with angel wings. But there's more. We got this reflection down here, and we got no wings down there. So let's go ahead and grab these wings. I'm going to hold the Alt button to duplicate it, and I'm going to bring it down here. But remember, everything's backwards down there. So let's go ahead and go to Image, Rotate, and rotate it vertically, and that gives us our vertical rotation that we need. I'm going to distort this by flattening it, because remember, it's a reflection. It would be flatter down here. And all we have to do is cut her out the same as we did on the top half by duplicating the background. Take that top layer and we're going to erase what we don't want, which would be right around her body, right around here. And once again, we'll grab the polygon tool. We're going to right click, hit copy, take that other background and delete it. So all we're left with is this portion here. Let's turn those wings back on. Let's bring those wings below our new portion, and now they're behind there. Let's go ahead and turn the background back on. We can zoom out, take a look at everything, and take the opacity way down, because remember, it's a reflection. It's about 20%. And the last thing we want to do to those wings is let's go down here to filters, and we grab this ripple, and let's give this ripple a little bit more. And you can see it's rippling in the reflection. You have to bring this from small to medium, and now you can totally see it rippling in the water. That looks great. Hit the green button. Maybe we'll take the smudge brush, nice big smudge brush, and do a little bit of smudging on the edges and stretch it out more like a real ripple. And there we go. We got a nice angel with her angel wings. This is Rich calling it quits for this tutorial, saying over and out.